feel I should remember you, Lady Harker," Sylvia said, after her employer had withdrawn from the room. "But I fear I do not." Lady Harker's smile faded. "No, indeed. We have never met, Miss Stafford. Oh, but I am so happy to have found you. You cannot know." Sylvia was alarmed to see tears starting in Lady Harker's eyes. "My dear ma'am," she said gently, "please have a seat, and pray take my handkerchief. Here, do you see the little knots of blue and brown thread? It is one of the first efforts of Miss Dinwiddie at embroidery. They are meant to be flowers. She gave this handkerchief to me last Christmas. It was wrapped around a cake of my favourite violet-scented soap. Once upon a time, Sylvia had been admired for her velvety voice. It was low and soft, seductive, one ardent suitor had said. Indeed, there was seldom a London party during which, at some point, she had not been begged to sing. Now, however, her voice was an exceedingly practical attribute, used daily to soothe her young charges and nightly to read or sing them to sleep. It was also invaluable for calming the perpetually flustered cook, the worried housemaid, and anyone else whose nerves were out of balance. It worked just as well on highly strung aristocrats. Distracted, Lady Harker sank into a chair, her attention focused on the collection of misshapen knots of thread that bordered the handkerchief. "Miss Dinwiddie is the child you teach here?" Sylvia seated herself in the chair across from Lady Harker, her own full skirts settling about her in a moderate spill of serviceable grey wool. "Yes, ma'am. Miss Clara Dinwiddie is the eldest daughter of the house. She is 8 now. I also teach her younger sister, Cora. Cora is 6. "I had not thought to find you a governess," Lady Harker said as she blotted her eyes. Sylvia was not offended. If truth be told, she had not thought to find herself a governess either. She had expected to marry. There had even been a special gentleman once, a gentleman who had come far closer to winning her hand than any other suitor. But Papa's suicide had changed everything. The family she'd been staying with for the London season could not bustle her back to the country soon enough. And after that, she had never heard from any of her suitors again. Not that any of that mattered now. Her tears had long since dried up, and the part of her which had once dreamed impossible romantic dreams had withered and died. She was not unhappy now, far from it. She laughed easily and often. She never thought of her old life any more. Well, almost never. "The Dinwiddies have been very good to me," she said truthfully. "I count myself lucky to have found a position with them." Lady Harker flushed. "Oh, I did not mean to insult you. It is only that I expected you would be married with children of your own. Lady Medcalf told me that you had so many admirers before." Her flush deepened. "But I must say, I am glad to find you unattached. More glad than I can say."